Good morning, everybody. I'm Paul Lisnick.
And I'm Tamon Bradley. This is WGN-TV Political Report.
As we navigate this ongoing pandemic, all eyes have turned to our political leaders. Every day we hear from the president, the governor of Illinois, and most days the mayor of Chicago as well.
With residents staying at home, those in charge are left with immense power to decide how to proceed in this unprecedented time. This week, the debate on how far those powers can go hit Chicago City Council. Mayor Lori Lightfoot ultimately won approval to expand her own spending power through the end of June. She'll now be allowed to move money within the city budget for COVID-related expenses and sign contracts under $1 million, all without the approval of the aldermen. But the tight 29-21 vote only came after a 48-hour delay and a contentious argument among aldermen.
This is the time that we come together. This is the time that we govern with integrity, with responsibility, with unity. The people of Chicago did not vote for unilateral decisions, no matter who they were, if it was the local alderman or the mayor. They voted for accountability and transparency.
And so what the 29 voted for was to make sure that we continue doing everything we can to keep our residents safe in this time of pandemic and to continue to have a sense of urgency around the measures that are needed to do just that.
All right, and 36th Ward Alderman Gilbert Villegas is joining us live this morning to talk about the city's pandemic response.
Good morning to you, Alderman. We also hope to have Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa join us live this morning. He is booked, and so hopefully he can join in on the conversation. It was quite a show this week, Alderman Villegas, quite the battle over the mayor's push to expand her powers during this emergency. Some back and forth that she had with the Alderman Ramirez Rosa there. Wanted to start by talking about the mayor's relationship with the aldermen. We saw this week that there was audio released showing the mayor having conversations with the aldermen. At times it seemed to be contentious. She was at times combative with the aldermen. Do you think that Mayor Lightfoot needs to do more to improve her relationship with the aldermen, or does she not care given that she has more than 26 votes?
Well, first of all, thank you, gentlemen, for the invitation this morning. No, you know, what you saw on Friday was democracy in action. You have different views, and everyone has an idea on how they want to address the situation. And so what you saw was democracy in action. As it relates to you know, the mayor, I think that the mayor has her style, and I think there's a lot of pressure right now, given the fact that you know, in her first year, she's having to deal with this pandemic. No one would have thought that you would have ran for office and then next thing you know, you're put in this situation. So I think there's a little bit of stress that's going on here. And then when you have a conference call with 50 aldermen, and sometimes you hear the same question over and over, it does get a little challenging. But I think the reality is that the mayor and her administration are going to listen to the aldermen's concerns. And then make sure that we're moving the city forward and making sure we're keeping everyone safe.
So, Alderman, look, the mayor has said she's not interested in having a rubber stamp city council. She wants the input, and yet you have this resistance to her from certain aldermen on the city council. In an emergency situation where a mayor has to make decisions, what is the concern? Is the concern that she's going to misspend funds from CARES money? What is it those aldermen are worried about?
Well, I think that the initial ordinance that was introduced, she heard from me that I thought the ordinance went too far, and then as we began to hear from other aldermen about some of the concerns, there was some discussions that took place, and as a result, you saw the new ordinance that was put forward, that put forward a sunset, that put limits, put weekly reporting, and so this is about as live spending oversight that you can get. So as procurement is ongoing, we're only a week behind. And if we see that it's not going in a way that is the way that we want, then we'll go ahead and have those hearings in front of the Budget Committee and make sure there's some adjustments.
Alderman Villegas, COVID-19, of course, has ground the city to a halt. Hotels are closed, conventions canceled, tourism dead, stores boarded up, and the Illinois Restaurant Association president says 1/4 of Chicago restaurants may never reopen. When we get into the clear and it's okay to be outside again and for businesses to reopen, how long do you expect it will take before the economy gets going again in the city of Chicago?
Yeah, that's the mayor put forward a recovery task force with 5 categories. Let me just make sure I get these correct. Policy, economic stimulus, mental and emotional health, marketing and business development, regional coordination, economic change study. And so I'll be on the chairing up the regional coordination because, again, this is not just a Chicago, this is a Chicagoland area issue. And so we don't, the first quarter just ended March 31st, and so we had 2.5 months of regular business activity. March 18th or so, the stay-at-home order went into place, and so from March 18th to May 30th is when we'll see a lot of the budget impact, and so we're waiting to see how the first quarter is going to look. That'll be part of the ongoing discussions with the budget director. But we're already looking and working towards economic recovery based off the task force that was put forward.
And of course, you've got former Secretary of Transportation Sam Skinner, Republican, who was under George H.W. Bush, assisting in those efforts as well. I want to turn to something Scott Waguespack, your colleague, has talked about, the notion of putting limits on Grubhub fees, other delivery fees of services. Everybody's ordering in, people trying to support restaurants and all of that. The question is, and there's resistance to that, should this be handled by the free marketplace? I know there's restaurants leaving Grubhub and such, or should City Council step in and try and regulate that kind of thing?
I think that's a topic that we're going to discuss. What we're seeing and what we're hearing from some of our local businesses is that it's just a very challenging time for them. And so when you're seeing these costs associated on these platforms, and they're charging high percentages, I think that's something that was just put forward. I think that the free market will dictate that, but I think it's just an ordinance to have some discussion about it.
Alderman Matt Martin introduced an ordinance that would allow some people up to 12 months to pay back rent. Mayor Lightfoot said that's only one piece of the solution. She, of course, is concerned about renters and also landlords who are struggling to pay mortgages. What more can City Council do to offer people assistance?
So right there, Alderman Martin's ordinance, again, were preempted by the state, and so we would definitely need to have the state step in as well, because we're talking about affecting landlords as well. This is just a horrible economic situation that we're in right now, given the COVID-19. So I think that what you're seeing is what we put forward a couple of things. We put the resiliency fund together. We have put a rental assistance program together. And so we're going to continue to try to find as much resources as possible to help the residents of the city of Chicago.
All right, Alderman Gilbert Villegas, Mayor Lightfoot's floor leader, thank you for waking up this morning, joining us from home, and we hope to have Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa on the program again soon. Coming up, we're going to take our first break. Up next here on our program.
It's a political maneuver at a time when we probably shouldn't be dealing with politics.
Some Republicans taking aim at Governor Pritzker's emergency powers as the state prepares to enter another 30 days at home. Plus, it's the question everybody wants an answer to. How soon can we safely reopen the Illinois economy? We're talking to the mayor of suburban Naperville about his thoughts when we come back.